It is 11:18 p.m., December 10th, 2022. Let me mute that song. It is O Come, Emmanuel, which is probably going to get me a copyright strike. So, I'm going to read to you something I found regarding, first of all, hi. I've been looking and praying and meditating and just digging through the ethers and stuff, and I found this song, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. Let me see what this is. Because I have an uncle named Emmanuel. And I know I had a cat named Emma. And Noel is St. Nicholas, right? Christmas. So I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. I listened to this song, and I noticed something. He says, O come, Emmanuel, to free your captive Israel. Let mourns in lonely exile hear until the Son of God appears, right? I'm like, wait a minute. That's not what that is. That's Isis, Ra, and El. So I looked it up. I'm like, what does this mean in this world? Search your family name here. And I'm like, what the shit? So I clicked it and I'm like, okay. And I'm going to read to you what it says, okay? Let me just position this here so that you can make sure you're seeing clearly. Okay. Isis, the IS part of Israel, was an Egyptian throne goddess dating back to the 5th dynasty. It means roughly 5 or so generations after the death of Christ, or the birth of Christ, however you're looking at it. Her name literally means the feminine aspect of the throne, which also connects to Cleopatra, which means father's bride. Her name literally means the feminine aspect of the throne, also the queen of the throne. However, the hieroglyphs for her name and name used originally meant female of flesh, i.e., mortal, and she may simply have been represented deified earthly queens of the world. She was most prominently remembered as the wife of Horus, or in the later periods as the wife of Osiris, and the mother of Horus, and was worshipped as the archetypal wife and mother. Isis is the feminine archetype for creation, the goddess of fertility and motherhood. She has gone by many names, such as the Virgin Mary, and played many roles in history and mythology as goddess, virgin, and female creator of life. Isis represents the feminine aspect of life, male and female alike, for she represents creation, rebirth, reincarnation, ascension, intuition, psychic abilities, higher frequency vibrations, love, and compassion, among other things, some of which are wisdom as well, that aren't listed here. In other words, she represents nature, Gaia, and all that is natural of our existence. She is the mother nurturer, the high priestess, the goddess of creation, and perhaps representing Eve, the first woman and mother of all. Isis became prominent late in Egyptian history when it began to absorb the cults of many other goddesses. It eventually spread outside Egypt throughout the Middle East and Europe, with temples to her built as far away as the British Isles. Remnants of her worshippers remained in Christian Europe as late as the 6th century, when at the time her memory was honored as the Virgin Mother of the Christian God, Jesus. take a minute. I'm going to link this in chat so you can see the article. All right. Ra, sometimes spelled Re, is the sun god of Heliopolis in ancient Egypt. Ra originally meant mouth in the Egyptian language and was a reference to his creation of the deities of the Ogdoad system, excluding the S concepts which created him by the power of speech compared to how Yahweh was said to have created the world. In later Egyptian dynastic times, Ra was subsumed into the god Horus as Rehorachti. The sun is either the entire body of Ra or just his eye. The symbols of Ra are the solar symbol of a golden disk, or the symbol, a circle with a dot in it. He was also associated with the phoenix, as he rose again each morning in flames. The Eye of Ra was a symbol that signified royal power. It on the numeration side denoted a decimal system where a round-off was set to the first 6 terms. The ancients believed this symbol of indestructibility would assist in rebirth, due to their belief about the soul. The more recent traditions of Freemasonry adopted the symbol in the form of the Eye of Providence. As such, it has survived to this day, and appears as the Eye of Providence on the recto of the Great Seal of the United States. The Eye of Horus, flanked by Nechbet and Wajet, was found under the 12th layer of bandages on Tutankhamun's mummy. Horus was an ancient god in Egyptian mythology who dramatically evolved over the whole of Egyptian history. Early on, he became identified as a sky god, where one of his eyes was the sun and the other was the moon. His weaker eye later became less important in mythologies, and he became more strongly aligned with the sun, particularly when the cult of Thoth, the moon god, arose. And mind you, Thoth, the moon god, and Sin, the moon god, could also very well be the same person. As the sun, or rather, with his eye as the sun, his eye had a special meaning and became a symbol of power when combined with his hieratic aspect of the subject. Originally, Ra held this position, but as Horus gradually became more important, he transformed into a sun god. So Horus became thought of as Ra, or rather Ra Arachti, Ra who is born of the two horizons. Later, Horus eye numerations decreased in importance in Egyptian life, with hieratic, demotic, and later improvements in Egyptian arithmetic, solving the oldest Horus eye problem. The oldest Horus eye problem was to write any number, like 1, exactly without throwing away any piece of the number. The hell that means is a little above my pay grade right now. The word El in Isis, Ra, and El, Elil or Enlil, is where is it? The Akkadian god of the earth and wind. He is the son of Ansar and Kisar, the primordial deities, and the father of the moon god Sin. Why is Thoth named the moon god of there? When the primordial deity gave birth to these, to El, and El is the Sin of the moon god, right? The moon god itself is named Sin. But somehow we have Thoth over there pretending to be the moon god. Together with Ea and Anu, he forms a powerful triad of gods in the ancient Mesopotamian religion. He is represented wearing a headband which is decorated with Horus. He is equivalent to the Sumerian god Enlil. Enlil, in ancient Sumero-Babylonian myth, Enlil, lord of wind, is the god of air, wind, and storms. Also, just FYI side note, not written here, but you should know, it's also associated with Uranos. Enlil is the foremost god of the Mesopotamian pantheon and is sometimes referred to as Kurgal, the great mountain. Kurgal does not mean great mountain, Tuira means great mountain. In the Sumerian cosmology, he was born of a union of An, heaven, and Ki, earth, aka Enki, An, Ki, or Anu, and Ki. These he separated and he carried off the earth as his portion. So again, we go back to the point where the earth was basically raped by other gods. In later times, he supplanted Anu as chief god. His consort is Ninlil, with whom he has 5 children: Inanna, Nerigal, Ningirsu, Ninurta, and Nisaba. Enlil holds possession of the Tablet of Destiny, which give him power over the entire cosmos and affairs of man. He is sometimes friendly towards mankind, but can also be stern and even cruel god who punishes man and sends forth disasters, such as the Great Flood, which wiped out humanity with the exception of Atrahasis. Atra means land. Isis means, the land of Isis. Such as the Great Flood, which wiped out humanity with the exception of the land of Isis. How funny that it's coded right there, Atrahasis. Some people don't even know it. Enlil is portrayed wearing a crown with Horus, symbol of his power. And up there we know Horus is the son of Isis. His most prestigious temple was in the city of Nippur, and he was the patron of that city. His equivalent is the Akkadian god Elul. The article writer here says, what I also suggest is that El and Yahweh were 2 separate gods. Yahweh as Marduk, and El as the other one. So we see that the gods El and Yahweh are distinct from each other, as distinct as their individual names. Yahweh was worshipped as a war god, also as a dragon from the deserts of southern Palestine who migrated north to Judah, while El was the god of Israel, whose home was Mesopotamia. Historically speaking, these 2 gods must be regarded as originally distinct, that the subsequently these 2 gods must be regarded as originally distinct, that subsequently were related and finally identified through political and religious synchronicities. So when I tell you guys, be careful of the gods you're praying to, that there's a false god out there, that they took things from Isis, from God, from El, and all that stuff. When I tell you the history of your world is screwed up, when I tell you timelines have been tampered with, when I fucking tell you that I'm a goddess and I've been trapped here in this body to fucking be used as a sacrifice, when I tell you Jesus Christ and I are really connected, when I tell you Mother Mary and I are really connected, when I tell you the connections to Isis and the way the high priestesses work in Egypt and that I was in Egypt, these are not lies, my babies. Okay? So I'm gonna go continue listening to music and enjoying my fucking day because I love my life. And the song O Come Emmanuel, I'm gonna link the lyrics to it in chat. So you guys can look it up because it's a prayer. Songs are magic. Be careful what you're casting. The article is already linked for you. And a side note to the 3 witch bitches with their Oompa Loompa, whose name starts with R and ends with L. One of the witch bitches' initials is C, the other one is S, the other one is R, the other one is M, the other one is A, initials are the first name. At least I think the other one is A. Anyway. Game over, bitches. I love you guys, the rest of you. I'll be back probably tomorrow and do an actual card reading and share more messages that need to be shared. Yeah. Have a wonderful night.